All right. Well,
What?
Malcolm, I've got a joke for you.
Tell me a joke.
Um, in because it's spooky season.
Mm,
What do ghosts drive to, or what do ghosts ride to get to school?
I don't know. What did Ghost try to get to school?
A ghoul bus. A ghoul
Nice.
bus.
Nice. I think what do ghosts drive? A Bugatti would have been
Mm,
slightly.
Ocean.
Fuck me.
I wouldn't
That's
say
so much
Slightly
slightly
better.
biased.
better, but I don't know.
Actually, Kieran,
You're
I think
you're
that
the
if you say it
host.
again, it might hit this time.
A Bugatti.
That's pretty good.
Oh, G
Da-na,
Whitaker,
da-na-na.
knee
Okay.
slapper.
The knee slapper right there.
Uh, Welcome
Uh,
everybody
uh,
to the last episode of Spooky Season in Waiting for Seconds. This is an interview podcast where we meet people and ask them who they are and why they are. I'm Shannon Miller, and I almost said I'm Malcolm Outcalp,
Oh, that's me.
which is my co-host.
That would
Um,
be pretty spooky, though.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But today, we will be talking with Nick Gratias. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
ahoy or howdy. I'm my name's Nick. I'm an apartment maintenance guy. I live in Auburn. I'm 6'5", and I'm a jolly giant, as some people would describe me.
That's true.
Yeah,
You're kind of a gentle giant, which is not what I imagined
that too.
happening when I first met
That
you.
too.
Um,
Yeah. Well, you were taller than me when we first met, my guy.
I was. You were so much shorter than me. It was so
Was.
cool. I'm gonna be honest. I have only been in. I have almost gotten to two fights in my life. My second
Yeah.
one was in fifth grade, where uh, this dude was bullying like a 6 year old, and I was
Mhm,
about to beat him up. He's like same age as me. I think he's
mhm,
my
mhm.
neighbor. But my first fight, almost fight, was a a it was with Nick. It was with this
Yeah.
lovely man here. Um,
Do you
I
remember
think
what it was about?
honestly, no. I think I just pushed you, and then our friends kind of just like separated it. It like got too crazy. Um, but
A
that and
mean
that
kid is what it was about.
yeah, that's honestly how I first met Nick. And then when I got to Auburn, I know a lot of the people on the podcast are people from Auburn, which is okay.
Hey
Um,
guys.
I met him whilst I was working in the kitchen. I've never talked about it. I think at least on
Oh,
the
you were
podcast.
like in the school cafeteria?
Yeah, I
Mhm.
worked in the school cafeteria for a whole year.
Damn.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
what did you figure
Yeah.
out that you guys were like that you had almost gotten into that fight a while ago?
No, I realized I knew who it was when I started working there,
Mm-hmm.
and I was so awkward uh, coming into a new school, and everybody kind of already had known what they were doing. But then I met Nick in the kitchen, and uh, a, a couple of friends of ours, I think. Wait,
Yeah.
I
Samuel
lost.
worked in the kitchen.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. And then slowly and surely I made the connections in my brain palace that this is Nick, my
Yeah.
first man who I almost fought.
Your first love. Yeah. Um. Yeah. No, it was Samuel that kind of brought us together because I started hanging out with Samuel, and then you and Samuel started hanging out.
Yeah,
And I just tagged along.
I also met him through camp meeting related activities because I want to say he was our neighbor, like
Mm,
our campsite neighbor, and it was
mhm.
cool. My parents met him before I did, which was also kind of neat. I don't really have much more words than that because I haven't talked to that boy in a long time.
Me neither.
Probably since junior year, which is when he left. I want to say.
Which
Same.
is a long time ago.
No, no, I'm joking. It was senior year. It was senior year.
Oh, yeah, he was there senior year, wasn't he?
We should get him on the podcast. I don't even
Yeah.
know if he listens to this. Samuel, if you're listening to this, message me. Hit me up.
Congrats on
You're
your
out there.
wedding, by the way.
Huh?
Congrats on your wedding, by the way, Samuel.
Oh, oh, that. Did he get married?
Yeah, he's married, man.
Dang.
Yeah. Time
Anyways,
flies.
well,
Who would have thought? Not me.
now with a
He would
gun
get
to your.
married?
No, that he would get married. I mean,
Oh.
this early in life.
Okay.
I mean,
I
he
guess
got
that's
married
true. Almost like
2020.
yeah, yeah. I didn't even know he actually got married. I knew he was engaged,
Mm-hmm.
but
All right.
less
To
about
start,
this man and more about you.
yeah.
Mm.
Nick, I want to ask softball question real quick. Do you have any
What's
pets?
up? I do.
Tell me.
His name is Joey. He's a cat. I was watching Friends when I named him, when I got him. He's a black cat, and he is a grand old boy. My sweet cheese. My rotten soldier, if you will.
Mm. Is
You
he
catch my
in
drift.
personality much like Joey from Friends?
Yeah, actually. He's he's sweet and then whiny
Mm,
when he either needs something or doesn't get his way. He's
there
very
you go.
smug as well. Yeah,
And that's Joey. I always love
that's
to
Joey.
hear about a beautiful boy.
Oh yeah,
I
he's a grand
I,
old boy.
I think I had a brain fart. Did you mention our friend Joey?
No, Joey his
Oh,
cat. And also
well,
Joey from
no, no.
Friends.
I knew about Joey, his cat, and Joey from Friends. I didn't know if we made a connection. I got a text message, so I was answering it real quick. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Good. God, distracted.
We do have a friend named Joey, and he is also a
Well,
beautiful man.
oh
Yes.
no.
I don't know that I would call him whiny, but
I would not. He is. If I think I've, excuse me, I think I mentioned this before on the podcast. If there's any Joey haters out there,
get out of here.
This also goes hand in hand with Nick's cat. Fuck you.
If you don't like Joey or you don't like Nick's cat Joey, get out of here. We don't want you.
Well, we need the views,
No,
Malcolm.
we don't. From
Nah, no, we
Scum
don't. For scum people who hate Joey and Joey the cat.
and Joey the cat. Or should it be like Joey and also Joey the person?
I
Yeah.
don't know.
So Joey or Joey the person.
Yeah. Nailed
All
it,
right.
buddy.
To start then, Nick, I want to ask you in relatively simple terms, because this is kind of a big question. How would you describe your worldview?
I well, it's pretty simple. Um, it is peace and love for everyone that deserves it.
All right.
Uh, because I mean, a lot of people have been been through shit. And they deserve peace and love. But if they're, not very nice people, then obviously they don't deserve peace and love.
Yeah, golden rule.
Yep.
You receive what you put out into the world, and those who put out peace and love deserve peace and love, and those who don't can fuck off.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah,
more
no,
of a karma thing, Nick? Like,
I wouldn't say karma. I would say I would say if you intend to do good, but you well, no. I would say it's you just you need to treat people nice,
Mm-hmm.
and if you don't, then you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
now, when did you start having like basically breaking this or sorry, basically making this worldview super simple like this? When did this kind of start for you?
Um,
Or what was the build up or
well, it was more I think after high school. I would say it just kind of I don't know, I just kind of realized that, you know, some people are good, some people are bad, and why not just be one of the nice people? Be one of the good people, treat people nice, and shit'll work out.
As it often will.
Yeah.
What does that mean, though? Treat people nice. What does that actually entail
Mm.
in normal, everyday, your normal life?
Oh no, yeah. Um, well, I would say 'cause I'm a people pleaser,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately. Um, I would say just not stepping on toes, not judging them, not being an asshole, being pleasant.
Okay.
I mean, my personality is very bubbly. It's as Shannon knows, I'm not, and as you can probably tell, I'm not very aggressive. I'm a bubbly boy,
Mm-hmm.
a LaCroix boy, if you will.
A LaCroix boy. I
Yeah.
like that.
are you flavored in are you slightly flavored in
Ooh.
all
What would
different flavors?
I would say if I was to be a LaCroix flavor, I would probably be. I'd probably be either tangerine or guava. Tangerine more likely, just because my favorite color is orange. So it
You know,
works.
I can see
orange
that
is
for you.
underrated.
Orange is underrated. I
Like,
agree.
people are into like red and blue, but like orange is just so pleasant and comfortable and like fall-y too.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of excuse me. I'm a huge fan of fall.
Oh,
It
same.
is my favorite season.
I'm
I am so glad it has finally come about once more.
I
Mm,
am so
indeed.
sad because it's basically over for where I'm at.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We've had 3 days of snow already.
Oh,
Oof. That's rough, bud. Lo siento.
Shit. Did you just Spanish me?
I did.
Spanish at me?
I did, my guy.
Dang.
What a power move.
Indubitably.
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 If you don't mind me asking, Nick,
What's up?
what were the situations that came about you, like, starting to realize that you just have to be nice to people in general, and if you're not, then those kind of people don't deserve niceness? Because it's not every... It's definitely a new take on, like, how you walk through life that I haven't heard before. Because it's not like a karma situation like you were saying. It's just how you are. But I'm just so curious about coming to that conclusion.
Well, that is a very deep, not a deep path, a long path. It stems from religion. It stems from my emotional state. And I can get deeper into those, but put it simply.
No, please go into it if you'd like.
Oh no, yeah, I will. To put it simply, it is easier to be nice. Well, no, it's easier to be mean. It's easier to be an asshole, but you get nothing out of it. You don't. You have nothing to gain from being an asshole. Because then people just think you're an asshole, and they don't like you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Creates healthier relationships, for one.
Yeah. Religiously, I would say I was raised a Seventh-day Adventist. And we can get into religion later, but obviously, Jesus treated everyone with respect and was loving towards them. And I just kind of started doing that, living up to my my last name, if you will.
It's a good last name, by the way.
Yeah, it's a grand old name. Yeah, living up to my last name, and just it kind of stuck, and I fit. I found it fit to where I was comfortable with it.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, all right, I'll do it. That's fine. This is fun. If that makes sense. I know it probably doesn't.
Yeah. I think that once you get into the habit of it, it becomes comfortable and
yeah. Personality wise, or not personality, emotionally, my emotional state, my mental state, I'm right now, I am very detached. Like, I'm not emotionally detached. I feel the feelings, and then I'm done with them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've heard the term, but I am basically constantly in my nothing box.
I have not.
I've never heard that term.
Or what about? So you know the it's like a comparison between a woman's brain and a man's brain. Where a woman's brain is like spaghetti, it's all connected.
Mm-hmm.
And then a man's brain is just boxes. And we have a box for each individual thing.
And there's one that's just empty.
Yep. there's one that's just empty, and that's how we can basically just sit there and think about nothing.
Uh-huh.
Um,
And
not
that's
to
your
say that I'm thinking about I guess it would be inaccurate to call it a nothing box, but there is no emotion other than like a happiness or a joy or a
contentness.
a good emotion. Or good emotions are the only emotions I feel most of the time because of my detachedness. If that makes sense.
That sounds
Yeah.
nice. That's
Yeah.
seems like a comfortable
is.
state to be in.
It is very comfortable. Not to be boastful, because I know a lot of people struggle with mental illness and
I know I do.
whatnot. But I would probably become a Jedi. In all honesty, I'd probably pass that test.
Become a what?
A Jedi.
Oh, a Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's impressive.
I mean, I would be a gray Jedi because, I see through the lies of the Jedi, but, like, I could get in. I could get into the
Could pass
special
the
club.
test,
That's
you
all I'm
just
saying.
would. On purpose.
Yeah. But
So
yeah, I
then,
mean, go ahead.
I think that bridges pretty directly into one of the other questions I was hoping to ask you is how do you manage your stress? And it sounds like to me relatively easily, right?
Yeah, again, not to be boastful. I don't stress about things.
Mhm.
I just let it go. Um, I flow with the wind, the river, whatever that phrase is. I go with the flow. There it is, Jiminy.
Mhm.
Um, and to be cliche, I give it to God. Because He knows best, and I trust Him.
Mhm.
Um, I would say also that I don't put myself in stressful situations.
Yep.
And if I were to be in a stressful situation that I not let go of, I would be rational about it. Okay, so I'm assuming no one has watched Big Mouth or Human Resources.
I've seen a good chunk of Big Mouth. I have not watched
Okay,
all of it. It was not something to watch with my mom.
that is
No, it
fair.
was not.
The funny thing is,
Um,
she was the one who introduced me to it.
oh, Jiminy.
Anyways, sorry, Mom. I know you listen to these. I love you, though. But what? Sorry, go
Um,
back. What about Big Mouth?
well, they have a spin-off series, excuse me, that's called Human Resources, and it's basically the world that the hormone monsters occupy. So there's a not an object, but like a figure that is represented or representative of pretty much every emotion, every feeling that you would have.
Mhm.
And there's something called a logic rock. And that's basically your rational thinking. That's it's your rational thinking. I'm a really big rational. I'm a really rational person, and so that I mean I'm also excuse me, sorry. I'm also an overthinker, so that totally helps.
Mhm.
Um, I'm
You can
only partly being sarcastic.
I mean, to an extent, you can step back and examine and think, and
Exactly.
that
Look,
part is not bad. And
It's
then
not.
once you do that for too long, maybe it does become a problem.
Yeah.
looking at everything at different angles, but then eventually it just becomes infinite angles.
Um, but I don't get into many of those situations, which is nice.
That is nice.
Um,
As a general rule, how do you avoid those situations?
Yeah, I want to know, how do you avoid getting into stress? I think the stress is usually just comes on head on. I mean,
if you don't mind, it doesn't matter.
what do you mean?
If you don't, I mean, it goes back to not being attached to anything. Because if you're not attached to anything, you don't get your feelings hurt. You don't get stressed about it. But if you don't particularly care about something, then it shouldn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you if the subject keeps occurring and it angers you or pisses you off or whatnot, then obviously that's something to think about. But it's also good to be self-aware. And to figure out what's stressing you out. And if you can figure that out, you can, in a sense, control it. Like, I mean, obviously there's certain things you can't control, but those would be the stressful times in my life where I can't control it. But other than that, if I can figure it out, I can rationalize it or find an angle on it that's agreeable with me. And I am without stress. And yeah. But
Seems
if you
to me
don't mind,
like,
it doesn't matter.
yeah, that's ultimately it, right? Is like, you don't have to manipulate the circumstances around you to avoid stress. If you just change the way your brain works a little bit and
I guess
stop giving a much of a shit, it's not
Yeah.
stressful anymore.
I guess that's true, because the only person who's really in control of your stress is you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just it's so simple to say that, because like, I mean, I can't, or well, I say I can't, but I probably can try to just be like, just say no. Say no to stress. Is that kind of how it is for you, Nick? You just essentially say no, or I think it sounds like it's a lot better now, but what am I trying to
I
say?
I get what you're saying. Um it's more like, I mean, some occasions, yeah. I would say that's a low stress. If it's a medium stress, it's like more like a I see you, I hear
Mhm.
you. You know, that part of my brain going off. I hear you. Let's calm down. And, hey, it's not that bad. Hey, look at this. Yada yada yada. Higher stress, the same gateway, same process. It just might take a little longer. You got to process it, think it over, figure it out, come at it from a different angle, whatever helps.
Mm-hmm.
I am in a mostly constant state of peace because of that.
That's impressive. I mean, like you said,
Again, not
not
to be boastful. I apologize.
It's all good.
Oh,
That's-
boast. The success of others is often, like in exactly what you're saying, looking for that good in life. It's good to see you succeed in that,
Mhm.
I appreciate it,
even
man.
if other people can't.
I've also
Right.
been blessed with, well, my parents kind of, they didn't found, but they were part of the start of a, I wouldn't say a self-help, I would say more of a, it's categorized as a leadership seminar, but it is more like a figure your shit out before you
Mhm.
can help anyone else or lead anyone else. They started doing that when I was around 10,
Uh-huh.
and I went to a lot of their um I went to a lot of them. I didn't sit through the entire thing, but I gained enough knowledge through basically listening to them and
Mhm.
listening to them ask questions about other people or whatnot. Um, so I kind of gained the tools to figure my own shit out, and here I am.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that
That's a
if any of y'all, this is, I'm so sorry. But that seminar would be called Foundations. A lot of the academy people around here are going through.
Foundations.
Foundations, yes.
yeah. I think I found it.
I'm gonna write it down in my notes because maybe I'll link it. What
Yeah,
the
we'll
It
hell?
link
is
that in the description.
a 2 week, or not a 2 week, Jesus. A 2 weekend event.
Mm.
Um, and I mean it's largely based off of the colors test.
Like, is it the four
Orange, green,
colors?
blue.
What is what are the four
The
colors?
personality test.
Yeah, we
Mm.
took it in Pastor Jen's class.
Yeah. No, we took it in health as well.
Oh, that's right. I never took health.
Oof.
Oof.
Well,
Look at me
Shannon,
now.
when a man and a woman, or a man and a man, or a woman and a woman, or a they and a they love each other
Mhm.
very, very much.
Mhm.
And they have
Nice.
sex.
They do.
Yeah,
They have intercourse.
Really?
I think so.
Remember to wear protection.
Thanks.
Stay safe. If it's raining, put a jacket on.
If it's
You'll catch
raining,
a cold.
Yeah, no, a couple of people that you know, Shannon, staff members from Auburn have gone through.
That's very
interesting.
cool.
Yeah, they seem to enjoy it. They seem to be better from it.
Good.
Yeah. Um,
Ha-
but yeah, just constantly bettering yourself, looking for ways to better yourself, looking for a peaceful state of mind, positive mental attitude. That's another good one.
Is
Just
this part of
ways to be happy. Not that, no, that wasn't part of the foundation speak.
uh,
I
is
apologize.
this at all? No, it's okay. Is this part of like the philosophy of Stoicism? This, I mean, this feels a lot like Stoicism.
Is it?
I always thought, or maybe is it Stoicism?
The endurance of pain or hardships without the display of feelings or without complaint. I mean, you could.
Yes.
I wouldn't describe it as that. Um,
I
but
don't think this was the one I'm looking for. Marcus Aurelius. What did he? Um, Meditations. No, it is Stoicism. Yeah, I had it right. Would you say it is Stoicism in a
oh,
way?
maybe a branch.
Sure.
I mean, the if you don't mind, it doesn't matter. Probably fits into that category.
I don't. I mean, you live your life how you want to. I'm just curious more.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, I have not based it off of. Honestly, Shannon, you want to know what I've based my personality off of?
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
You
That's what
really
we're
want
here.
to know? These folks
We really
really
want
want
to
to
know.
know?
Yeah, the folks at home, they're crying out right now.
Get off
All
your
right.
couch and listen.
So, in eighth
Get back on
grade,
your couch. Now listen.
I ah Jiminy Christmas. I was really hurting for a girlfriend, and so I looked up how to get a girlfriend, and through various links and various websites that were just all like, "Oh, be yourself," blah blah blah. Um, it was just the one thing that really stuck out to me was just be nice. Um, be a gentleman. And so I started doing that in hopes of getting a girlfriend. Did I? No. Not until freshman year did I get a girlfriend. And that was not because I was nice. Oh no, it was because I was nice. But that is why I am a nice person, Shannon. It just stuck. I got into the habit of it.
I mean, if it works, right? Like,
If it works, it works.
even if
Yeah.
it didn't work to get a girlfriend, it worked to make you a happy
A better
person.
person. Yeah. I'd be
I
like that sometimes.
It do.
I don't know if I fully agree, but it's interesting to think that that's it was just so simple.
But to
That
get a girlfriend, just be nice.
no, just like the strategy, or not the strategy, the like the way it's just developed in you just to be happy and calm and relaxed.
I mean,
And it
it's
go ahead.
I see what you're saying. Um, it is what started the worldview. How about that?
Okay, that makes
Um,
sense.
just being a nice person to everyone, not just women. I mean, to women especially, but
Hopefully to your girlfriend.
uh, um, yeah. I mean, it, I am who I am.
Well, I mean, what what continued on that path? Was it actually your girlfriend you got in freshman year, or was it just slowly, just throughout high school, either meeting new people or gaining new relationships, not necessarily romantic relationships?
Yeah. Well, honestly, everything up until senior year was kind of a blur. Like I don't remember any of it.
I
Um,
Yeah, I agree.
I was
My
not
freshman year
on
was weird,
drugs,
but
I promise, or
no, I know.
anything.
He's not on drugs, everybody. Or sorry,
I'm
he
not on
was not on
drugs.
drugs. I don't think
tell
he is
anyone
anymore.
I'm not on drugs.
Okay.
Um,
Sorry.
no, yeah, I think, I mean, for those that know, my high school girlfriend, um, I mean, yes, she did. How did you put it, Shannon?
But what do you?
What you were saying, like she did,
How did she help? Help you grow in this
yeah.
worldview?
Um, yes, she did. But it was after the fact that I realized what I mean, who I really was, as far as the bubbliness, the niceness, the courteous, the graciousness, if you will.
But it's
um,
sorry.
you're good, man. No, yeah, I mean, after I moved back from Michigan and kind of dealt with that and processed that, um, for those of you, for those of you that know, I kind of just found myself. I mean, I had found myself after high school,
Sure.
um, just because I stopped taking my medication. Um, and then I would say after I moved back to Washington, that's when I truly found myself, or it became comfortable with who I am,
Hmm.
and started this journey of peaceful bliss, if you will. If
Has
that makes sense.
this? Yes, perfect. Has this state of mind ever presented any problems in your life? Or is it only really upsides?
Well, as far as being detached, I every once in a while I'll question if I'm like emotionally detached. Um, just for the fun of it, you know. And then I'll come to the conclusion that nothing has really happened that has been worth my emotions
Mm-hmm.
recently. Um, but also just the fact that emotions are really just up to you as far as what triggers them and what sets you off or whatnot. If that makes sense. I apologize. I know it probably doesn't.
No, I think I get where you're coming from. Well,
You
that's
good, Shannon?
Huh?
You good?
Yeah.
Are you wrapping your brain around my jumble of
Slowly,
words
because
slowly?
to be honest with you, Nick, this is all a new side of you that I've never seen before or even heard of.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if this is like you're under, not like a mask or something that, or sorry, this is like your true self or something that I just never
Mhm.
knew. But it's weird to hear you talk about this, and it's just like not the Nick I remember, which isn't a bad thing.
No, yeah. Well, like I said, I
You've
really
grown.
just discovered myself after high school.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, throughout high school, I was questioning my personality just because of my medication and who I was off of it and who I was on it. And then after high school, when I was off it, I had to basically piece together what I thought was me, or what I wanted to be. That's a better term to say. And then the disease that, or the COVID happened, and that really took a toll on my mental health. Which is when I became so jolly.
Is that
Yeah.
sarcasm, or was that?
Well, no, I mean, Jolly Saint Nick.
Oh.
It's when I gained weight.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not what I.
It wasn't a great choice of. It wasn't a good joke. And then after I moved back again, I apologize for bringing it up. That's when I cemented it. I was just like, all right, this is the foundation.
Mm-hmm.
What can I do to improve it? What can I do to be better?
Mm-hmm.
I examine myself. I try to examine my emotions and my mental state and step out of myself, if that makes sense, often.
No, I mean that sounds like something that. I mean,
I'm not
your
crazy, I
worldview.
promise.
No. I'm not saying you are.
No, yeah.
It's the worldview that you have. It's important for you to step out of yourself and either look inward or try and look from somebody else's perspective. Whatever the situation is, may it be your parents or your siblings or what.
Exactly. I would say it's also important to. Well, it's also. I would say. Like, I mean, I'm self-aware. I'm aware that I'm smart, but not smart all the time. And I admit when I'm wrong. I'm constantly messing up, but I know that I'm constantly messing up. And I'm okay with that.
I mean, that's
That
that's a
also
healthy
adds
way
to
to
the.
look at it.
Yeah.
To look at it, not work at it.
Yeah. I'm curious though, Shannon. What was your view of me in high school?
Ooh. I don't think I've
I
ever
mean,
been asked
we
that.
haven't hung out. We haven't necessarily
No.
talked.
It's been a while from our D&D group or
Yeah. And the wedding.
Oh, yeah. Aaron and Gabe's wedding. And
Yeah.
they've been on here too.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to say. I mean, I wasn't in a good place in high school either. Just because of my introduction into relationships, romantic relationships, and I thought that you were just overwhelmed all the time. I think.
Interesting.
Uh, it there was times that it annoyed me because it was depending on the situation. Um, some things were rational, some things were very irrational, but it was I talking about it now, I can almost see like the personality that you're talking about now in past Nick, like trying to look at things from different angles. I just remember the nights that you would just hang out in my dorm room before basically I had to go to bed or something, and just talk. I mean, just talk and talk and talk. And it's not like how much do you talk. It was just what the situation was. It was just kind of depended.
No, yeah.
That was towards the end of the high school career.
Yeah.
But the first time, I was so nervous that I was gonna have to fight you at some point. When the first time, but
Yeah.
as we became closer, I realized you weren't whatever I had thought you were at that point.
Yeah. Well, it's also it's funny because I don't really remember if I was masking. Like I can I would definitely say that right now my personality is very surface level. Like I've been saying, bubbly and sweet.
You wear your emotions, or you wear you wear your heart on your sleeve. Like you're not hiding anything, or when people are actually talking to you, it's the real you. It's not somebody that you're hiding behind.
Because I don't have the energy to do that anymore, man.
No, I get it.
There's no point.
I feel like Malcolm.
It doesn't. Go ahead.
I feel like Malcolm and I can probably say the same. There's no point in trying to bullshit people anymore. I mean, especially as young adults like us, it's when we step out of high school and to a bigger reality, it's
healthier too.
Yeah, and you cherish the relationships, either the new relationships you found or even old relationships that are growing, because there's honestly nothing to hide behind. And there's a lot of people who do hide behind certain things, maybe depending on trauma or whatever their situation is, but it just seems a lot harder to grow when you are hiding behind whatever it is.
Exactly.
I mean, I'll even say it. Definitely thought I had peaked in high school after like my first year of living on not on my own with my buddy Dustin. I didn't know where I was gonna go, mostly because I had this personality or thing in high school that was just like, whoa, drama kid, cool guy, dude, thing, man. But once
the guy
left
with the good beard, yeah.
I don't know about that. I have a way better beard now.
Oh, for sure.
Facebook can prove it.
Mine is just starting.
I'm proud of you. Let it grow.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I even in just talking with you right now at 11:23 p.m. the night before this
Yeah,
episode's
bud.
coming out. It's just, it seems like just a blanket statement of just don't hide behind the bullshit and don't be too hard on yourself, which I think is like one of the biggest lessons that I've learned today. Because I know I've been dealing with that. I need to not put so much pressure on myself. This is a weird. This interview was almost a weird therapy session for me.
Got you, bro.
I don't know about you, Malcolm, but it was just sometimes these episodes help me. I know that much.
Yeah, they do kind of hit that little niche of being like accidentally more for us than anything.
Yeah, but
I'm happy to help.
yeah, yeah. I don't know if I'm ending, but it's been a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, bud.
I am.
I
Yeah,
do
go
want to
ahead,
ask.
Malcolm.
I'd love to ask you one more question before we wrap. Earlier you
100%.
mentioned your religion, and specifically Jesus.
Uh-huh.
Can I ask you to tell me more about? Obviously, Jesus led into your worldview in that way, but has your religion affected you in any other major ways throughout your life?
I feel like I've had the reverse effect where uh to be blunt, I see through the lies of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Not
You
in
see through
saying
the
that,
lies of like the church.
yeah.
I
Like I don't go to
That's fair.
church.
I
I
don't.
am not there for the power disputes or the overtly repetitive verses and songs and whatnot. Um, I I don't find God in church.
Hmm.
But like I would say I'm in constant conversation with him. Um, I thank him when I appreciate something that happened, even if it's a small thing. Um, I am very, what's the word?
Content with your relationship?
I would say content. Um, but not settled
Sure.
in a good way.
Happy, but not in a way that stopped you from improving.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
it's still like a relationship with
yeah.
God.
It's ever
There's-
growing.
Right.
Um, yeah. I mean my work schedule also, I mean I work on Saturdays. Gasp, gasp. Um, I know. I'm such a
Did I get a
sinful
clean cut of that?
Christian.
Maybe I
Well,
can do it just as he
that's
does
the
it.
other thing. I never, not to be boastful, I never had that feeling of, oh, you're like, you know, the cliche Christian upbringing where everything you do is sinful or somehow sinful and you have to be good to get into heaven type shit.
Okay.
I never really felt that way. Um, I always like just thought of it as, you know, be nice to people, treat people like Jesus would, like our Lord and Savior.
Mhm.
Um, and you know, it is what it is. But yeah, that's how religion has affected me, Malcolm.
Good to know.
Um,
I think that
it's all,
we've heard a lot of people who have that kind of more direct relationship with God, and
mhm.
that's one of those things that I'm agnostic. Uh,
Mm.
I've never really believed in God, but I think that like I don't know if it had been pitched to me more like that, much earlier in my life, I might have been more into it.
Mhm.
And it's
I
it was a little surprising.
my response.
Uh, no, the fact that so many people feel that way. I
Oh
think that
yeah.
I thought, before this whole endeavor that a lot more people were that, like, you go to church every Sunday, you gotta eat brunch with the church mates, and because I mean
Churchmates.
my only real direct connection was my grandmother, who is part of the choir. So she
Mhm.
very much is one of those. And like, I don't know, I think that was the only real church goer that I was in close connection with for a very long time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Makes sense. Um, I I I mean, this is kind of off subject, but on it's on the topic of religion and
Mhm.
God and whatnot. I like to think of the Old Testament as a background check on God. Um, and kind of just like yeah, this is the crap I did.
Mhm.
Um, it's kind of messed up, but also I was feeling my emotions because this is the first time that all this happened. Like, I mean, you can know something's gonna happen, but it's still gonna make you angry or sad when it does.
Mhm.
Um, and then the New Testament is just kind of like this is me now. This is who I want to be, or not who I want to be, but these are my intentions.
Mm.
With you and your soul. That sounds morbid, but
That does sound kind of morbid.
um, and this is how I would like you to act to everyone else.
Mhm.
Um,
And I think that's a very sounds like a very healthy, comfortable relationship with God, and
I try.
makes a lot of sense too in knowing your worldview and your uh mental state. Like,
Mm.
it feels very appropriate to have that comfortable relationship.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm only 22.
Okay.
Yahoo!
Yay!
Hopefully it's only up from here then.
That's the plan.
When is your birthday?
March
Oh,
5th,
gotcha.
to be exact.
Gotcha.
Um,
I think that is a good way to kind of wrap it up.
yeah.
Thank you, Nick, for coming and hanging out with us. I apologize for it being on such short notice.
Oh, no worries.
But thanks for hanging out. I learned a lot uh, about you. I mean, it's just new and refreshing. Also, to hear maybe a different perspective of somebody who's less stressed. I mean,
Hmm.
a lot of the people on here have their own stresses and own ways of dealing with it, and it's new to hear about somebody who is at peace, or content,
Mhm.
But let's do housewarming stuff. I think, Malcolm, you've done it now a couple times, so I'm going to hit it. Thank you to Nadia Diaz. Thank you to Nadia Diaz for our podcast cover art. Her Instagram is at artheadcreations on Instagram. That's going to be in the description. Go check out her art, or even message her to get art for you, to
Yeah,
do
if you
art for
got
you.
any art you need done, she is the person to do it.
This might be a little bit of a spoiler to Nick and the rest of the D&D group. I plan on getting like our characters done by her.
Oh,
Do some
heck
character
yeah.
art for us.
That'd be
Pretty
grand.
cool. Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun. But go check her out. Thank you to Jensen Krall, who made the intro and outro for our podcast. Go check out his song "Knocking on Doors" for his musical Tea Time. I don't know if it's finished. I just need to call him. Also, just check up on him.
Yeah, you should.
I should.
Great music though.
It is good.
Even if it's not
Mhm.
finished.
I love musicals.
Yeah, right.
Indubitably.
Indubitably.
Check it out on Spotify, iTunes, whatever. And then also send us questions, please. Please.
Yes. Hit our email.
Yeah, that's waiting 4 seconds at gmail.com. It's waiting the number 4 seconds at gmail.com. Send us questions so we can ask people like Nick certain, maybe more specific questions, or maybe questions from anybody who wants to have their question answered.
Yes.
It could be
We'd
personal.
love to hear your questions.
Yes.
We'd love to get your input in that way.
Yeah, that's also going to be linked in the description. I think that's it. That's it. Thank you everybody for listening to this episode. I hope you enjoyed. We will see you next month. Ooh, I'm prepping now. On the 11th, which will be past our official year date of starting the podcast. Yeah. So
Congrats.
thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. I'm so happy.
Does that mean I'm your last season your season closer?
Technically, yeah. Technically.
Well, it's an honor.
Thank you, Nick, for being our season
Big
closer.
appreciate.
We will see you guys in the month of November. Happy spooky season. Honest Jed.
Honest Jed.